Om Sadashiva-samārambhām Shankarācārya-madhyamām Asmadācārya-paryantām Vande Guru-parampara. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sah Viryam Karavavahi Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahi. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. In these days, we have been discussing Ishvara in my life, because without relating with Ishvara, Vedanta will not work. As all of you know, in Bhagavad Gita, that there are 4 types of bhaktas have been discussed. The first one is called Arti. So Bhagavad Gita accepts that everybody is a devotee. And all devotees put together into 4 categories. The first category was called Arti. So Arti means the one who is in distress. So sometime or other, a person is in distress. And when a person is in distress, would like to have a relief. So in order to have a relief, when the person relates, now that object of relation and that relationship continues, that is also one type of devotion. But how long that will continue has its own question mark. Because as long as I am in distress, that long I will be relating. We say beautifully and carefully that when a person is drowning, completely helpless, even if she is a straw that is floating nearby, what the person will do? Will try to relate with that straw, try to hold that straw to save oneself from this drowning process. So there is also relationship. But how long? So that has its own question mark. And from Arti, once the person manages to overcome because of one's own effort, because of grace, because of support, or time by itself takes care, then the person becomes arthārti. So arthārti means seeking artha. Artha means here security. So predominantly we call as wealth, but later on we try to talk wealth in the form of relationship, wealth in the form of power, position, and whatnot. So I seek, in short, security. Instead of artha, wealth, we translate artha as security. And it is a very long term relationship than arti. In fact, if we try to look at all our relationships, commonly falls under these 2 categories. Sometimes I am an arti with reference to somebody or other. Sometimes I am an arthārti. That's why in my relationship, always there is up, also down. It keeps fluctuating, not because of other person, not because of the situation, not because of anything, but because of my attitude towards the relationship. Now, when this Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita highlighted these two aspects of devotion, also he carefully highlighted that there is someone called mumukṣu. So mumukṣu means the one who is desirous of liberation, moksha. Yes, we all look for moksha when we are suffocated. So when I am suffocated, I want to escape. It is not liberation. I want to escape to have some free air. The beautiful saying goes, if you observe, especially in Indian context or in any relationship context, I can say, in Indian context, wife and husband relationship. The wife or husband, anyone, will be talking against, let us say wife is talking against husband because poor lady tired, no support or something. And you listen to that time. If you try to talk against her husband, she will start pouncing on you. What nonsense you are talking? He's very good, he's very nice, how dare you to talk? She has a right to talk, but you don't have right. Okay, you have only right to listen to, but you cannot talk against. This is a very, very good rule one should understand. That's why already I have told long back, in a close relationship, especially in a blood relationship, never ever comment. Even if the person talks very bad of it, ill of it, your job is just to listen to. If you can, if you cannot, better run away, but never ever comment. And if you comment, it will definitely one day or other backfire. So this point here is the lady when talking against husband, not that wants to be free from husband, but wanted some relief. So also we look for moksha not as a liberation, but some type of relief. That's why a mumukṣu in the beginning is a curious person. And when this curiosity is being maintained, managed, sustained, then only the person becomes a Jijnāsu. So this mumukṣu to become Jijnāsu, Jijnāsu means the one who is desirous to know that there is moksha, there is liberation, and I want to be liberated. It is not a destination somewhere I have to reach. It is not that I have to leave behind many things and reach, or I have to give up many things to achieve. In fact, what I am looking for, that indeed is me. What we call in short, praptyasya praptiti. What I have already gained, I would like to gain it. The example popularly we give, the specs. Even though the specs I am holding here, now I am the owner of the specs. But I have forgotten. Now I want to become the owner of specs. Where is specs? Now I start looking for, I search, I do japa, I do puja, I do many things. Just for what? For to become the owner of the specs. But somebody has to point out, hey, what you want to become, already you are that. That is called teaching, and in fact, that is the point to be understood. But it's not that easy. Because when I am looking for specs desperately, now when you come and say, look, you, what you are looking for, you are that indeed, what I will say, you are mad. You have some other intention. Maybe you have eye on my specs. You are not allowing me to look for specs so that you can take my specs away leisurely, so that my mind will not be available to listen to you. So that's why many people are mumukṣu, but they do not become Jijnāsu because their mind is not prepared. And when mind is not prepared, that mind starts oscillating between this being an arti or arthārti. And interestingly, when I do not maintain myself to become arthārti, I'll fall under the category of arti, means in distress. That's why any relationship that is built on security brings distress in life. So to avoid this, that how a mumukṣu becomes Jijnāsu, because this mumukṣu and Jijnāsu being categorized as one type of bhakta, then finally jnani, as for Bhagavad Gita. Now, this mumukṣu to become Jijnāsu will need certain disciplines. And there we stand Ishvara in my life. So I need Ishvara not for anything, but to see this quantum jump, me being a mumukṣu becoming a Jijnāsu. And once I become a Jijnāsu, I start seeing the growth in me. I start accommodating. I start enjoying my life. And in keeping with that, we were discussing Sandhya Snana Japaschaiva, Devatanam Cha Pujanam, Vaishvadeva Tathāthityam Shadkarmani Dine Dine. I hope you remember this verse. So these 6 karmas to be performed every day without any fear, because if I want to become a Jijnāsu. So what are they? Spending some time, our version, Sandhya time, meeting time, when that night becomes day. So that is one meeting point. Don't sleep, at least get up, spend some time. Also, noon, forenoon, afternoon, that mid-noon, that time, evening time, day and night meeting point. These 3 meeting points to be taken care, to spend very carefully. We have discussed in details. Also, we discussed snanam. So snanam is unlike shower and bathing, because shower and bathing only confirms that taking care of or purifying the physical malam. So physical impurities will be taken care by bathing or shower. Snanam is taking care of your mental impurities. That's why when we do any snanam, first we take shower first, then only we go Ganga Snana Adi. So that's why the snanam word is very carefully to be used. We have seen carefully. Also, we have discussed japam, how and why one should do japa, and elaborately you can look at a book, and especially ajapa japam. That japa continues and being synchronizing with one's own breathing technique. That also we have discussed. Then comes devatanam pujanam. So one is supposed to do devata pujana, because if you do not worship, so if you say God is my friend, God is nobody, so you can play the way you want. It doesn't work. So you need to give a due respect so that you can relate carefully. And of course, we have discussed in details that Panchayatana puja, especially technically. So whether you do Panchopachara puja, 5 steps, or you follow Dasopochara puja, 10 steps, or you follow Shodasopochara puja, 16 steps, depends upon you, but you need to do or continue. Now we need to look at also that how this Vaishvadevam Tathāthityam, because 4 are Oho. So that how this Vaishvadevam plays a big role. So actually what we do, Vaishvadeva means offering food to all beings. Actually, in Bhagavad Gita, we have seen Sahastena iti uchyate. That person is called a thief. Not the one who steals, but the one who enjoys things without offering. Remember this point. The common understanding of being a thief is the one who steals. But we go one step ahead. That person is called a thief. He who enjoys without offering. That's why we offer our food to that God. Then we receive as prasad. So to communicate that I am just a part of this universe. In fact, I am just I belong to this universe. Nothing belongs to me. That's why what we do very carefully, we use this most important thing, that through this, that we acknowledge, we respect the cosmic order. Because I don't consider what I have is my property. Especially the food grain that I have produced, not bought from the market. Even if I have brought from market, don't worry. It is not my property. If you say it is your property, leave it behind for 1 month, 2 months. What will happen? All insects, ants, they will take away. So where is your property? Tell me. So we consider that this is a gift from the nature and from the divinity. So when it is a gift from the nature and the divinity, so what we need to do? We need to honor the nature and divinity by offering to it. So then the cycle becomes complete. So this, to create this cycle, so this Vaishvadeva, what we do? Generally, we give 5 types of offering. Let us look at this point very carefully. So when we say this offering to be done, so the first portion, whatever we cook, please understand, most important thing I would like to tell all of you. Your kitchen is most important aspect in your life. So when we say most important aspect in your life, your kitchen, you need to take care of your kitchen very carefully. When I say take care of kitchen very carefully, kitchen is a place where we invoke Agni Devata. Not mere fire, is a divinity. That's why when we light the fire, we do namaskar. In fact, without taking bath, one is not supposed to light the fire. In fact, there are many places we do. First we light the lamp, then only we take care of cooking aspect, because the way you cook, that matters. Let me not get into too much. When Agni is being invoked and when we cook, the first portion of the food, little bit, one morsel, we give to Agni Devata. So we put near the, okay, burner, you cannot be difficult, little bit. So earlier in the fire itself will be put first. So that we call as Deva Bhaga. One portion goes to Devata through Agni, because Agni is called Havyavahana. The one who carries is the carrier. So the first portion, or you can say first morsel, goes to Devata. Second one called Pitru Bhaga. And today is Amavasya, being new moon. One is supposed to do Tarpana, especially a person whose parents are not alive. So we have one exception, technically. Suppose your father is there, so they escape, okay? Father is there, so he will do. I am not part of it. So however, second one is called Pitrubhaga. So Pitrubhaga, that goes per kaka, per crow. So we keep one person, one morsel per crow. Third one is called Bhuta Bhaga. So Bhuta Bhaga means for animal and unseen beings. So there comes under who are comes? We have swana, dog, and pipilika, ant. So we separate it. Also birds can eat, because in fact crow they will eat, or else from pipilika person, from ant person they eat. Then comes the fourth bhagam portion, is called manushya bhaga. So manushya bhaga, there comes aditya, so giving to human beings. So that means one person goes to guest or those human in need. Then final portion is what? Atma bhaga, the portion for oneself. So until and unless I take care of other four portions, I am not allowed to take for me. That's why you might have observed, nobody likes to cook for one's own self unless you are a Rakshasa. You understand? Nobody wants to cook for one's own self, okay, somehow manage. Whereas when it be to be cooked for others, you get all energy, everything to cook. And that's why you should not cook for yourself either. So give whatever remains last you. But nowadays, first me and me and me. So that's why we need to take care of these 5 things very carefully. Why? Because in my life, mistakes are inevitable. And these mistakes also are being presented as 5 types of mistake called suna, dosham iti. Those days, when you do some grinding, some insect will get, with that mortar and pestle. So when you do that, some insects also will be killed. So one type of dosham defect. You have papam. And of course, whether it is through the stone, also something will happen. And especially when you cook those days with the firewood, in that wood also there will be a lot of insects, they will die. And also because seeing the fire, lot of mosquitoes, lot of flies will come and fall. There is also papam, dosham. And of course, where water is being kept, especially in summer, lot of ant comes there also. And when you do the sweeping, cleaning, so many things dies. So all these things also you create some papam for you. And these are called inhabitable papas. Nobody can stop it. Without your knowledge, if you are walking, you will step on something or other, which you cannot. And if you are driving your car, God knows how many ants, how many things are dying under your tire, you know better, or you don't know better. Only when a human being dies, you are in a soup, okay? Or else no problem. You manage, escape. Remember, all this is part of it. So that's why we say very carefully, when these are the things happens, so how to take care of that? For that we say this Panchayagya to be done. And along with the Panchayagya, we use this two words called Ishta and Purti. So this Ishta and Purti to be done. Very nicely one verse explains this. Ishta Purtya Tushyanti Pitaraschaiva Devata Ishta Purtya Tushyanti Bhutani Chavasundhara. In fact, he says previous line very nicely. Ishtena Devata Tushyanti Purtya Tushyanti Manavaha. So these two words uses. By Ishta Karma, Devatas becomes happy. And Purti, all the human beings becomes happy. So that means these two to be taken care. Why and how? Through Ishta means Yajna, daily offering, Sandhya, whatever we are discussing, Tarpana, and to be done activities related to Devata. All these things come under Ishta. Two, you can say recharge yourself. And if you don't recharge yourself, don't worry, you will get drained. Also, you need to do Purti. So Purti means doing welfare activities. So there we call as mainly, there are many things. Bapi, Kupa, Tadagadi, Nirmana in those days, Anna Pradana, Gorakshana, etc. So mainly those days it was called as constructing or digging like well, pond. So where human beings, animal, everybody will be benefited. Again, building chaul trees, supporting cows, feeding poor people, maintaining all these chaul trees, dharmasalas, ashrams, temples, so that the society is being taken care. Or else what will happen? Imagine, if you start earning and you don't take care of the society, the more you earn, the more you become insecure. I'll give you a beautiful example. I have observed this very carefully, that where there are rich people and poor people, or few rich people, more poor people, that area, rich people are more insecure. We say very carefully, because anytime they will come and steal, there will be fear. Imagine, where you are living, all the people are rich, more or less like you. Will you be bothered? Nobody is going to disturb. That's why we look at locality where we'll feel comfortable by paying more. We say clash of living, okay? But we don't believe in this. We say create a clash, not join with the clash. You understand? So sharing with others not only make you to feel secure, also you create something for you and for your next life too. Because if you look at our life, let us assume nowadays 70 to 80 years average life. Some of us have crossed more than 50%, some of them almost. Now, just observe. After a few more years, what we'll do? Again, we are going to start our innings from the beginning. That too, unknown innings. Don't forget this. So when we are going to start our unknown innings, so what is our capital? Remember, our capital is what we have shared. Now what I share with you all, that will be my capital in my next life. And today, whatever you have, remember this, including your education, of course, your wealth, relationship, health, anything and everything belongs to your previous life karma. This life karma only has managed to negotiate and enjoy or suffer. Okay. This life has not created anything. And what you do in this life, again, that is going to be capital for coming life. So keeping that in mind, we make sure that purti, sharing things with the others, must be done. And when these are being done, this ishtha purti, then what happens? Then the final comes atithyam. So atithyam means that respecting the guest. Means that's why in India they say Atithi Devo Bhava. The guest is like a god, okay? But in reality, whether it's God or not, don't ask me, okay? That's another level. But it's a very good slogan, it's a very good tag to attract, tourist. There is no guest nowadays, tourist, okay? They say tourist Devo Bhava. I think it's a better word, okay? So if you say Atithi Devo Bhava, then while visa time, you should not charge tourist visa, okay? You can put Atithi visa. Honestly speaking, this should be, government should do this. In India, government should do, instead of when it say Atithi Devo Bhava, make a visa called Atithi visa. And I am sure it will be appreciable by everybody. Anyway, let me not get into controversy. Because if you get to controversy, YouTube will say, this will not be monetized, okay? So your channel cannot be monetized. Very funny. However, so Atithi is Devata. Why and how we'll discuss. Then we'll go to if these 6 things are being done regularly, how the mind moves, then only the person becomes eligible for respecting values. We'll discuss tomorrow. Om Punnamadah Punnamidam Punnat Punnamudachyate Punnasya Punnamadhaya Punnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.